Hi, I'm Jason Augenbaum. I'm here with Jorge Rimblas. How you doing,
Good to
man?
be here.
Every one of us, every developer in the Application Express community has a story, the thing that got us hooked. Let's start with that. Where was it for you? How did you get a hold of it?
That got me hooked with Apex.
Yes.
Well, I did start coding with the HTTP commands, coding by hand your web pages and
old school.
HTML, old school, and I created systems, the whole thing. But interestingly enough, they were mostly read-only inquiry stuff, mostly.
Okay.
Because it was such a hassle to carry state and carry the values and all this stuff. So I kind of try to avoid that. And when Apex came along, I immediately recognized what it was doing, right? How it was doing that technology, and then the fact that it was doing so much work for me so easily, I was hooked. It was just wow.
Okay. So HTTP commands, what version did you start at?
Of Apex?
Of Apex.
Oh, I started 1.6, HTML-DB.
Okay, you got me beat.
1.6.
You got me beat on that one.
Yeah.
I started at 2. So, okay, so best application ever made. What's your favorite app that you've made with Apex?
That I've made. Ooh, wow, that puts me in the spot. There's been a few that you feel proud because of what they do or the whole journey, whereas the application itself maybe is not a wow application.
No,
it's just that wow. So there's been a few. There was one that did some really cool maps of these people were all over the world, and you could visualize them all over the world. And then you would do searches. It was kind of interactive. You click on the selectors, and the map narrows that down.
Okay.
But all the data behind it, the maps themselves were not that hard, but it was just everything behind it. The workflow of data, the entering, the maintaining, the users. That was a cool application.
Okay.
Another one that comes to mind had a lot of dynamic SQL. Just
dynamic SQL.
Dynamic everything.
Isn't that like the bane of our existence right now?
Yeah, it's all
Nobody
metadata.
likes dynamic SQL.
Everything metadata, and what's going to be a table? I don't know yet.
Okay.
Right? That's kind of the answer. I don't know yet.
Okay. Who's the first major member of the community that you came in contact with? You know, who was your first hero in the community?
Well,
who brought you in?
Very firm in my memory, and I don't know if he was the first, but very firm in my memory. There's Scott Spinellini. I think he's key in my Apex road.
Okay.
And after that, maybe we can have Dan McGann, but.
Dan McGann's my personal hero at this conference. He did a 1A.
Man crush?
No, not necessarily man crush, but I have some respect for him. When you call Oracle support at 1 in the morning, you expect to hear a much different accent in the voice. Last night, I reached out thinking that I wouldn't get any response by the morning, but Dan actually came down to the ballroom level and helped me fix a problem.
So it's like, solution, huh?
Hey, yeah, you know, he's my hero this one. But my first one was John Scott. We met at Collaborate 08, and he was helping me at that company, you know, work out some problems, get Apex running and everything. And I'm going to catch hell for that one.
Nice.
But so, what's your passions now with it? Where do you see you wanting to explore more? Is it all known territory? Do you have some new paths you're going to be blazing?
Well, there's always new paths, right? And I think the Apex team is keeping us on our toes with the new releases.
Yes.
They're definitely not making it boring. I think it's all very exciting. There's going to be so much opportunity now with Apex 5.1, the interactive grid. One thing I noticed, I don't know if I'm that happy or not, but I noticed that for some of the customizations or some of the extra functionality, you still need to do quite a bit of JavaScript.
Yes.
In the interactive grid, and that was very interesting. So I think there's going to be a ton of opportunity to learn there and figure out how to do things.
Well, it's a brand new function. I'm sure we're going to get a lot more changes along the way to it.
The other thing that I think keeps us in our toes is that technology keeps changing, and design, the design and the UI keeps evolving. I think, you know, I like a lot of the UI. I'm very involved in UI and how things look and all those designs. And that is always evolving, always moving. So what I thought was the right design or right UI for something 4 years ago, it's not true today. Today, first I would have new tools, new techniques. And I think in 4 years, it's going to be exactly the same. I'm going to look at what I was doing today, and I'm going to say, yeah, I wouldn't do it like that anymore. I think there's a better way. Okay,
so on the topic of new versions, what's the one feature you want to see in the future? What's something that if you could push the button, Joel say, yeah, we'll go ahead and put it in the next version, what is it? What do you want to see from the next major release?
I am a little disappointed that you cannot modify or add, you cannot add your own template options on Apex 5.
In the universal theme?
The universal theme, yes. The universal theme is locked, and you can, for you to add new template options or your own, you have to unlock it. And when you unlock it,
it's no longer supported.
And it's not going to receive updates from future versions, right? And I think that's a deficiency. I think there's this. It's a wonderful feature that allows you to facilitate design changes, and at the same time, they did not allow us to just roam free with design changes. Okay. So it's a very simple thing, but I think we're missing an opportunity there.
It might be an opportunity that we'll catch sooner than later because it's fairly new, and we might actually see that they find ways to make things a little bit more predictable and hopefully a little bit more upgradable.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, so you just got off of your one of your sessions today. What's going on? What were you doing?
I presented. It was called Hooked on Classic Reports.
Okay.
Tips and techniques
to make them sing. Is that like Hooked on Phonics?
It's like Hooked on Phonics, but on this one, I'm trying to get you hooked on classic reports again.
Okay.
You know, who remembers a lowly classic report that's been around since Apex 1.6?
I remember it because I've been using it forever.
Exactly, but you probably try not to use it now with Apex 5 when you can put interactive reports, multiple on a page. You're like, oh, well, I can now do that, right?
Yeah.
So my presentation is showing how you can take any HTML layout or some HTML layout, tokenize it and abstract it to make a powerful layout that is totally standard functionality in Apex. And you put your select statement, you have your custom template, it merges the data, and you get
that is still the one way that you can truly produce something completely out of the ordinary. You could definitely take that template to the extreme. Completely
out of the ordinary, with a feature that still supports dynamic actions. The developer only needs to put a query in it to use it. When I deliver that functionality, that new template, it's actually really easy to use. You do need to know a little bit of HTML and understand that, but it works really well. Okay, so do you think that the Oracle team is ever going to truly get rid of the classic report and make us stick with just the interactive reports? No chance. Okay. What keeps it relevant? What's the thing that keeps the classic reports the most relevant right now? I think this ability to change the layout. I think they're going to get new life in the fact that we're going to use interactive grid and interactive reports for everything. Okay. Or maybe interactive grid for a lot of stuff. But I think there's still room for that report that doesn't really give you other functionality. There's still room for that simple list of data that it's informational, no search needed or anything. Do you ever think they might actually merge the interactive and the classic reports and kind of give us a best of breed? I think it'll happen. I think interactive grids could be the future one. Okay. So, all right. So, thanks for coming by, and it's Jason, always fun to argue with you. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a good one, guys.